What's up, Trios Tribe? Another week, another regional. This time in person, play TCG, October Mesquite regional. This is pretty cool, still EX07. We're doing this in the middle of a hurricane, so probably gonna go a little faster than I normally do. I'm sure that's a blessing for some people, but anyway, let's get into it. They had 214 players, 8 rounds of Swiss, October 5th. Was that the cap? Did we fail to hit the cap on this one, guys? Come on, man. We still gotta get our invites. This is a regional. Y'all need to step it up. No, I get it. It's hard to get out. It's hard to get out to these events, like just for fun. And Digimon's definitely like it's hard to compare Digimon to One Piece because there's so much potential money to be made in One Piece that like people are gonna fly out just to be the wait list. It's that lucrative. Whereas Digimon is definitely more like the fun game, where like people aren't gonna necessarily fly out just to try to get their invite for an event that's like return on investment. But I don't like to think of card games that way, but you know, general masses. Anyway, rant aside, hurricane aside, we got Mirage takes it. We in play TCG fashion, we only have the Bandai TCG Plus name, so Accelerate Alpha, Mr. Ben 10 fan, or is that more common than Accelerate more common than oh my god, what am I saying? Is that whatever, Ben 10 meme. But we got 5 whole Imperials, 2 Mother Controls, 2 Ancients, 1 Mirage, 1 Fenra, 1 Magnamon X, 1 Jmon, 1 Yellow Vaccine, 1 Blackwork Greymon. I'm not gonna have fun talking about that one. And 1 Omnimon Ace. Let's get into the list real quick and just see where we're at. We get to talk about Domino. Screen name Domino's Omnimon Ace list. And kind of funny, off the back of Omnimon Ace keeps finding a way to top like once a tournament. It'll probably like skip every other tournament. It keeps consistently getting a top. It's a strong deck. It has a very strong win con, right? Once they've set up the Tamer, the option, and then a level 6 on board, there's not a lot of things most decks can do about that. Like there are a few things that can be done. The Digivolve, like depending on how, like this deck can play around Digivolve, DP reduction. If you tack into it, same thing, you're getting aced. It's just really tough for it's possible. Obviously, if it wasn't possible, then like this deck would be topping in spades, but like it just has a clear win condition, and once it's achieved it just wins because it is trashing your security, so it can't just like sack you out of nowhere, or like you can't lose to security most of the time against this deck is what I'm trying to say. Beyond that, off the back of just another Supreme Connection, I still like, you know, like again, I harken back to when I talked to that one guy in my Texas trip. Supreme Connection is such a cool card for this deck. We do run the black tie, we do run a couple black Agumons, just to help facilitate the existence of this card in our deck, to, you know, help us squeak out finding a Metal Garurumon. We only play 5 of them. And yeah, no, something that I find funny is that the Omnimon Ace decks that are topping tend to have a lower count of these secret rares from BT 14 and 15, and oftentimes a lot of people that I talked to originally, like when they were first playtesting the deck, crafting the deck, building blah 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 blah, they see these lists and they're like, how could they only play 6 War Greymons or 5 Metal Garurumons? That's so low, they just brick all the time. Like, it works, man. It's working for most people. I think we're starting to see, like, as more of these, the thing about this is like the more of these Omnimon Aces we see top, the more we see like which ratios really are the ones that are working in these tournaments. I mean, and sometimes it's just like the proof is in the pudding. I'm like, you know, we're very results-based, database driven here in Eggman Events, and we just kind of like use that to fuel our opinions. And so it's very hard when someone comes up and it's like, oh, this is wrong, like it should have more 6s, it's too low. Like, I mean, this guy topped, where's your top? Like, I don't know, maybe that's like cocky of me to say, but it's not me. I don't know. Anyway, congrats Domino, 16th place. Then we get to talk about I think this is Lee's. Oh, I should have been more prepared for this. And now that I'm slightly more prepared, this is 14th place. Annabelle's Blackboard Greymon list. One of my Kryptonite decks that I quite genuinely never want to see this deck succeed. But that being said, I know people love this deck. I know people love Greymon, and Blackboard Grey kind of is just probably the most toolboxy, most like well-rounded of our Greymon world, of specifically black versus normal war gray. But let's break it down a little bit. We haven't seen one of these in a long time, and so we get to talk about like just a lot of the utility things this deck has. We are on one Gatsumon just in case we want to play against 7 Great Demon Lords at the right time. Not being able to play by effects kind of lets you squeak out an extra turn against like something like a Gudamon. And then just, you know, we're pretty, it feels like we're pretty low on the rookie count. Like we are playing our X, just X cards are good. We are playing the Agumon that does warp into a Greymon if we have the tie, which is a little annoying. But there's a world where we can promote this Agumon, go into this Greymon, gain a memory all for free, gain a memory off of this tie, and then we're off to the races, go into the Greymon X, and then Digivolve into our level 5 for 1, or I think it's 2 in this case, right? 1 reduced for 1 for each, so you actually go into this guy for 2, depending on your memory situation. Interesting, the level, okay, so this is the level 5 we want, and then this is our X. I'm sorry, why am I getting so confused? Anyway, protection against the Digivolve is so underrated right now. I keep saying it, and I'm going to continue saying it. The Digivolve is slowly becoming one of the best keywords in the game, we'll say. Maybe not keyword, but, you know, removal-esque abilities in the game. Not to mention having access to Digivolve yourself. Popping a 3k or less is a little like whatever, but and then we know you love it, you know it. It's the Blackboard Grey that is able to delete up to 6 costs worth of Tamers, and accompanied by 2 Hades Force. Just the Tamer hate, you know, blue hybrid, blue Ancient Garurumon is still a really good deck. It's going to be around, and there's a lot of Tamers out there right now. Like a lot of decks, like I wouldn't say like absolutely need their Tamers like Ancient Garuru does, but people are getting value out of their Tamers. It's not, I wouldn't call it a Tamer format, but I think our format right now definitely feels like a very healthy, like we are playing Digimon, we are playing Tamers, and both are kind of living harmoniously in our decks, and I think that's good. But something like Blackboard Greymon definitely can just always get value because of that. Whereas in previous formats, you know, there's some decks that weren't playing Tamers, etc., etc. Playing the Omnimon X Antibody, still a good card. Return all of your opponent's Digimon of their highest level to the bottom of the owner's deck is a really powerful removal. Like, I mean, I still remember like being able to bottom deck an entire Gava board because they tried to go wide with level 5s, and I just went into this thing and it was just gone because it was highest level. On top of that, we're not playing the Archer mode. Our level 6 is really toolboxy. Like our clear hope is that we find the Tamer Deleter, and then either go into the X Antibody, which does redirect, which does get around, which is a power crept version of Blocker, right? So a lot of our guys right now are focused on trying to get unblockable. Redirect is something different. There are ways to game it, since you can only redirect the highest play cost, or with the highest DP, sorry. You can redirect the highest DP. So you can kind of like find a way to like tool your way around it. One protoform makes sense. I always felt like something like the controller decks want a protoform over an X Antibody. And here you have it. Really low on our like Memboost offense trainings, kind of makes sense. These are going to bottom deck our ties, and you know we're still a deck in the modern era, and Tamers are just good. Tamers are I think Tamers in general are in a healthy state. Maybe Davis and Ked is slightly too pushed with being able to strip 3, but otherwise I think those rookie, like in general, the DNA Tamers are fine. It's just that 3 sources is a little much, plus gaining a memory. I don't think any of the others gain you a memory too, which, you know, very blue, but still very gross. That being said, one Crimson Blaze, because we are, just trying to floodgate our opponent a little bit when we can. Right, a correctly timed Crimson Blaze goes insane. One Alteris mode I haven't mentioned, but just again having just a toolbox, being able to just draw into everything and have things at your disposal when you need them might be hard, but also having them in your deck at all is just kind of great value, especially since it's just taking up a level 5 slot where we kind of want our level 5s anyway. The only thing I would say about this list is it just feels low on the rookie to champion count, but it's probably one of those things where it's once you've seen a first line, you're going to draw into the rest of it again and again and again, so it doesn't really matter. So but anyway, yeah, just grats Annabelle on this list. Then we get to go on to Kobe KOB clan tags. I love that. Alpha 300 with yellow vaccine, and this yellow vaccine, but we're seeing a lot of aces. We're adopting the Numemon Edamon into our little ace package. We got TK, we got Cody. We talked about it in I think my previous video that Cody is actually pretty good for these yellow vaccine decks. It just lets you swing over bigger. Let's just go into this guy, suspend something. Now you're minus 7k with your 6k body. You're effectively attacking at 13k, right? If you're attacking into a Digimon. Kind of relevant numbers, honestly. And again, just Rapidmon, Gold Vidramon. You can do the same thing with this Rapidmon. Suspend minus 4k plus the 2k. You're effectively swinging at, again, 13k because he's a 7k body, so it's like that's like the flippy flip. Into Angelomon, Magnamon Ace allows you to get an additional on minus DP on this Cody if we want to combo there. It's just Cody's just a good card for the deck. Beyond that, we do have a level 7 lineup: Death X, Ruin Mode, Paladin Mode, Ace, Emissary 2, Trainings 1, Golden Awakening, and Digimon Emperor, plus our little collection of TKs because we are running Hope, which no, congrats. This is 12th place, Alpha 300 with the clan tag. Congrats on getting your invite, man. I know it's cutting to the wire on these, so congrats. Now we get to talk about I think we get to talk about our ancient Garurumons. We get to talk about, I believe this is Denny's ancient Garuru list, blue base. This is I admire blue base personally. I love blue base. This is like where it just feels right to play blue base. This is where I try to be. And the key thing here you guys will notice is the Gomamon with the rise of Shoto blockers, or Shoto Mother, Shoto 7 Demon Lords. There's just a rise of blocking, and then there's also just a rise of just being able to strip one source, kind of dismantling your opponent's game plan. Kind of sick, kind of busted, right? So this Gomamon is doing a lot of work this format, and the more I play with blue base, the more I love this Gomamon. The two other things I want to call out, or I guess one is just like, bam, source strip, bam, source strip, bam, source strip. Just like this source strip, like quadridium. I want to say trifecta, but it's 4 of them, so quadridium, whatever. Yeah, just Hexplow is something that I feel like, Hexplow, blue is such a good, out of EX7, I think this Hexplow is going to be, we've already seen an Imperial with Samantha's and Dan Bang's list from the previous online tournament I covered, and it's just going to be a splashable blue card that goes everywhere. Being able to bottom deck a Tamer if you meet the conditions or whatever, strip 4 sources off the top. A lot of people depend on those sources and those Tamers, especially if they only have one, or you just snipe that one key Tamer, just undo a lot of the value. Suddenly they can't attack. Like in the mirror, you have Hexplow with at least a couple of sources, you're just not going to be able to ancient combo properly. You have to get rid of this guy before you do anything. And that's rough. That I can't imagine how rough that is playing that in the mirror. I don't want to think about it. It's tough. We actually had to cut a couple Ukos to make this work, but whatever. We still have 3 Mem boosts, 2 Deity, 2 full meteor impacts, because if you're on security bombs, I always kind of recommend people be on 2. And just, beyond that, normal stuff: Hyper Spark, Ice Wall, 4 Koji, 2 Sora and Joe. I love the Sora and Joe to be included here. I might have to try the Sora Joe myself. maybe I gotta try the Hex Cloud too. And Zudamon Ace. This whole triple package here I haven't tried. I've definitely been playing the Gomamons and it's sick. But yeah, no, congrats. I don't know if I said you're Denny on your 13th place, Ancient Guru, blue base. Then we get to talk about, you know, a little more standard again, back to the red base. We're maxing out on Ukos, 2 Bukos, 3 of the Murakamons, 3 of Dwayne The Rock Johnsons, 2 Solarmons. We actually found room for Solarmon, which is pretty good. Solarmon, still a relevant card. We're playing 4-4-1-1. Actually playing the new BT17 Beowulfmon is actually kind of interesting. Not something I would have expected. Ancient Guru, duh. What am I saying? 1 Venus. I haven't liked Venus. It's just I don't find scenarios where I'm actually going into my level 5 and digivolving to my level 6 like that. So I find it tough to actually play Venus in the deck, but it clearly worked for them. Maybe I gotta go back to the drawing board, and when I practice red base more, maybe I have to give Venusmon another shot. Our level 7, just good stuff here. Shine, busted, steals turns, Death X, busted, steals games sometimes. Hammer Spark, Gravity Crush. The amusing duo that this is funny to me. Ice Wall, 2 Deity, Crimson Blaze, 1 X program. It's kind of funny. I wonder why they felt like X programs were what I want to be. Is there a lot of decks going wide? I can't think of anything crazy that's going wide. Like Fenra Lugon, if they were going wide, they're not going wide right now, but they all have X anybody in their trait. Same with Dexdoru, like looking, I guess Imperial. Maybe we're afraid of Imperial, so this is a nice Imperial pack. Why? I would like to know why X program. I know Omnimon's scary, but they also have just clear protection for this. I don't know. Always if you're listening, what is this? Oh, sorry, I didn't see your name. This is 9th place Panda at 1. You'll see when we look at the names again. Panda at 1. Always when I'm confused and up in the air, it's because, you know, I'd rather you just tell me, man. Just tell us in the comments why you felt like X program was the play. Go ahead. I see its worth, but I don't want to sit here and theorize in a video nonstop for everybody. And plus someone else in the comments will tell me otherwise. 3 Analog Youth is insane. It's a lot. I've been playing 2 in blue base, and I like playing it in red base. I like Analog Youth definitely fills a couple of purposes right now. Obviously, like if we're not on Uko, you can either promote and then do a little ancient combo and then steal back the turn, right? Once your ancient dies, you tap Analog Youth, steal back the turn, hatch a new Digibubble, get that second Digivolution, and then maybe Lou could do something. 3 Analog Youth seems a little high. The highest I've gone is 2, but the secondary purpose I like for Analog Youth that I don't think is talked about is it is just really good 7 Great Demon Lord fodder. Notice how I think no 7 Great Demon Lord actually topped this tournament, so that's interesting facts. It's just good fodder, especially when they're in Lucamon. Like, it allows you, one of the things to beat, to me, 7 Great Demon Lord is to kind of make their Lucamons not as valuable. And so by going wide with Tamers, as Ancient anyway, this is from a perspective of Ancient, going as wide with Tamers, because if you go wide with Digimon, they're going to Leviamon you. But if you go wide with Tamers, their response tends to be more, I'm going to Lucamon. But then you just have the Tamer of Sack. Their Leviamons don't feel great, especially if they can't just drop a Leviamon. So they either have to go Ruin mode, which isn't great for them either. I'm sure Ruin mode, you know, the minus 10k on the board, or consecutive minus 5k is annoying, but like, it just, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's just, Analog Youth just being a like fodder deletion for Lucamon is really good, and that's where I'm going to end that conversation. Then we get to talk about Jmon, because I mean, I guess this is officially the best Jmon in North America, right? We haven't seen a Jmon top in forever. But like, the most interesting thing I would take out of this Jmon list for me is like 2 things, and maybe it's because I don't really fully understand Jmon anymore. But it's just only one of the blocker Sistermon, just the OG from BT6, just on play draw 1, and then all your Huckmon, Royal Knights, and Sistermons have blocker as long as you have a Royal Knight or a Huckmon in play. Or sorry, as long as you have a Royal Knight or Huckmon, all your Sistermons get blocker. And I just feel like that going wide blocker is just good. However, definitely things like Death X just kind of really stifles the deck a lot. Probably why we see a little bit more of the decoy one and then a lot of the combo ones. CL tends to be a lot of your like cheeky memory gain, keep turn, or like being able to combo mid attacks. A lot of gross stuff happens there. Getting reboot for your blocker is also good. It's just this. The sisters are so good. I wish we got Noir. I wish there wasn't like a sensor on that. I wish we actually got all 3 sisters in the deck, but it is what it is. Then the second thing I would like to notice is our level 6 lineup. We're not playing like starter deck Jmon, BT13 Jmon, or even BT6 Jmon. We're not playing any Jmon other than the X antibody Jmon, and that's just interesting. And like, it's funny because when you like, for an X antibody level 6, it hits different. Like, it digivolves for 3 like a normal level 6. It doesn't really have an X. Then if Jmon is in this digivolution cards, or you have a Digimon with Sister on its name, it doesn't have that condition. It's like you need either X antibody or the other level 6 under. It just, as long as Sistermon's on the board, which if you're not playing Sistermons in this deck, you're losing. You get the extra effect. And the same goes for the Genkumon X, and then we're capping it off with Magnamon X antibody because we can tuck it with Jmon GX to get some stupid OTK, unaffected by all your stuff, and then I'm going in next turn. We got Gravity Crush to help us keep push turn, red memory. Only one red memory boost because Sistermons are just not red. Same with Genku and Magna, but you get it. However, from Master to Disciple does search out pretty much everything in the deck, including this guy. Or by adding 1 card with Huckmon or Sistermon in its name, or Royal Knight in its trait among them. Yeah, 1 card, so it doesn't have to be a Digimon. That's good stuff. It's good stuff. Congrats. Did I say your name? This is My Television. I love screen names sometimes. My Television. Anyway. Congrats, by the way. That was 8th place, so you got an Omni for that list, so that's sick. Then we get to talk about 2 of our D Reaper Mother Control lists. I'm gonna call them. That's what we tagged it as. This is 15th place Lee's list. We're calling this hybrid base because we do have access to Tai, Shu Yulin, Satsuki, and Mercumon, Sephirothmon. Seeing a lot of the hallmarks that we saw originally from Tyler's list. Just actually finding time to have Heaven's Judgment. Oh, I guess with Shoto we do have Heaven's Judgment material, and we have the potential for a lot of colors. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, technically 5 colors. That's a lot of colors. We could, or 6, no, 5. But yeah, no, seeing, this feels like a list, the progression of Tyler's list, where it's like, we are going to try to be a little more aggressive. We are going to have access to Digimon and Quartzmon, and we are going to try to win the game. And that's very important. I feel like a lot of mothers are still trying to play this very slower paced game. The differences from Tyler's list is obviously we are on the Shu Yulin instead of the Marvin, which I kind of questioned the Marvin in Tyler's list as well. And it's kind of nice to see someone else have success with my recommendation. It just gives me like some value on the inside. Playing Bokomons, I feel like there's a lot of Bokomons comparatively to Tyler's list. I hate to keep, I'm gonna stop comparing to Tyler's list. This is Lee's list, man. I'm sorry. Trident Arm, interesting card. Still a good card. This is more of like, if it's in security, this thing goes sick nasty. And then Vikemon, Mega Gargo, GG, Paladin, just Cherubi Ace, just with all the hallmarks of like a control deck is really where we are with these aces now, which leads me to talk about, this was 15th place Lee's. We're going to talk about 6th place Akarune's Mother Control list, of way more condensed list, way less cards, but I've dubbed it personally. If you have your own name for it, leave it in the comments. But I've dubbed it Mother Control Ace Base because it's just funny to sounding like that. But as you can see, we are playing so many aces. We're not even bothering. We have Terumon purely to be able to play off of our Cherubimons. Again, finding actual win conditions in the deck, right? Terumon with Alliance. If you go Cherubi Ace on their turn, play the Terumon. sorry, you play the Tarumon, and then suddenly next turn you're swinging with this thing for 2 checks, kind of busted. Or you can even Digivolve with it. You have end of attack. If you have another suspended Digimon, you may play one of your opponents and one of your oh my god, minus 2k, whatever. The new Nightmon is here, the promo Nightmon of all things. I don't think most people were expecting this, but like, you did all turns when another Digimon attacks, you may play one yellow or black level 3 Digimon from, okay, so that Herald doesn't matter, but the on play, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3k for the turn for each of your Digimon. This is a Starmon, man. Kind of nasty, and it's got blockers, so you can just play it if you have to. You are controlless, so you are kind of just dumping memory into your opponent's side. And then we just got the sickest 4 Digimon Emperors, 3 black ties. Oh, I do not want to live in this control world, man. Oh my god. Personally I hate security control, but I get it. People are trying to win, and you did well. Congrats. Tai and Kari, because it's just the memory that Tai and Kari gives you late game is disgusting. The stacks so fast and so quickly. If you have 2 of these out, you're getting +4 memory in an end game scenario. And Jmon's going to keep you at 3 anyway. Paladin mode Ace, only 1 is interesting. And then Shine Greymon, a burst mode Ace on top of all this, so you just always have access to Ace no matter what you play. You play Teru, you have Magna and Jmon. Once you're at Magna and Jmon, you have your 6s, you have your 7s. Like, you just, every attack is a potential ace, and it's rough. And I can see why your opponents couldn't figure it. Like, I can see why your opponents had a hard time dealing with it, man. And then Mother to just be a 15k blocker. Oh, what a timeline we live right now. I hesitate to say I'm not a fan. I'm not. Every time I play against this deck online or something, I don't want to say rage quit, but I'm just like, I don't need to play a 30-minute game 1. You know, I got time to do I got to prepare for a hurricane, man. Now we get to move on. 4th place. This is Mike's list. Magnamon X. Yeah, Magnamon X hasn't really changed, man. But like, we will put in the notice that we are on the Flame Dramons. Flame Dramon being a great way to, have raid, attack target switch, trash the security to activate our own Magnamon X is very huge. We've actually sacrificed the BT13 Magnamon entirely. That's an interesting call out to me. Omnimon Ace, just because we sit on level 4s all the time, and Omnimon Ace is just good. But the standout card is probably High Speed Plugin D. We've talked about it multiple times. I think most people, or most YouTubers, or most everybody was like, man, there's a lot of blockers out there. Like, I mean, it's a good thing everybody can run high speed plugin, blue plugin for the unblockable and jamming, because now you get to not everyone's got an answer as long as you have a team, or yay. But realistically we haven't seen anybody really top with this card. But Mike did, granted with a deck that already kind of tops in the meta, but with the higher blocker count, high speed plug-in D, we generally need it for Magnamon X to be find a way to be bigger. It's hard for Magnamon X to cross 15k without getting blocked by Mother, right? Like, sure, armor purge is a thing, but and then beyond that, just the normal Shuyulin, Davis, Blinding Ray, Awakening, Heaven's Judgment, Final Zubagon Punch. A great way to get this guy over 15k, by the way. Final Zubagon, especially if we have the red Vmon for some DP. That's our best scenario there, because we do need to find a way to get 13 before we final Zubagon, so that's a little tricky. But if we get there, we get there. We have 4 trainings. I was going to say only 1 training. That's wild. And then level 7s. No, grats, Mike. And then we're gonna rush a little bit. We got to talk about 5 different Imperials. So I'm gonna shotgun these because I am in the middle of a hurricane. So no, this is no Dewey's 11th place list. We are on the starter deck, Dragon mode, hidden potential, 3 of our progenitors, 2-4 split on the tamers, playing the best level 4s, and actually no armors for our level 4s, just pure Stigmon Vmon, playing the purple Wormmon. I like to call that out. Actually, on the promo, Wormmon from the movie is also kind of a rare sight to see, but interesting stuff. And making time for not only Hexblow off its recent success, but also BT12 Pile instead of just running a full 3 of the starter deck Pile, and even got room for Mega Gargomon. Man, we have this is a fun list. I kind of like this one a lot. But no, congrats on that. Was 11th place. Now we get to talk about 10th place secondary 0-0 Imperials list. A lot of the same, a little more condensed in terms of definitely the rookie count. We're not seeing that promo. We're seeing only one of these alternate because we did make room for the one Togomogumon, the full 3 starter deck Paliodramons, no starter deck, no hit. We do have the hidden potential, 2 Hexablow, so interesting. 2 Paladin mode aces. That's where I like to be personally mentally. It feels more correct to be able to at least give yourself the option to loop, but that could just be me being a little silly. 3 return to the progenitors. No, congrats on 10th place. Then we'll talk about, this is Baba Pike 19, 7th place list Imperial. Actually finds room for Heaven's Judgment, which is hilarious because, like, I mean, come on, we got 2 colors, 3 colors potentially, 4, 5. I mean, like, I'm talking like, you know, happy magical Candyland. Like, we have a lot of, like, we have 3 plus 5. We have 5 colors here, like in Magical Christmas Land. Playing the Insect Fusion, this Invincible Dragon, like being able to not be deleted by battle is kind of valuable right now, especially with Mother blockers. And like, it's one of those cards that people talk about as like, oh, this is an answer, and no one really was running it. So it's interesting to see someone actually have success with it. And then beyond that, we're normal 4-3 split on our Paliodramons. We did up the number on 4s from the previous list, and a little more diverse with our rookies, but I kind of like the diversity of rookies. Right? Everyone wants to max out on the searchers and then just kind of like toolboxy rookies to clean it out, because we do have to get to like 13, 14 rookies, right? So we have 12 and then 13. So that's kind of where this deck wants to be, especially since we're hard playing so many of them. That was oh my god, that was Baba Pike. So this is 5th place Sons of Chaos list. Again, actually playing the promo Wormmon is cool. Not playing the red Vmon, but other than that, we're 2 purple Wormmons. Look at you. Finding room to play 1 Lydramon versus Togomogumon, which is a little interesting because we're playing more Wormmons than we're playing Vmon, so I feel like Togomogumon's better, but hey, maybe the suspend is valuable. Beats me. Actually cutting the 7th level 5 entirely and just only 2 starter deck Paliodramons to make room for double Hexblow, 1 BT12 fighter mode, only 1 Paladin mode Ace. We still have time for hidden potential. Giga Death. Seems like everybody seems to be pretty much on 3 progenitor, which, you know, good for them. I think it's a strong card. 2 felt too low, and I guess 4 is too much. I definitely thought 4 was too much, and it looks like the world is settling on, you know, 3 is just like the mama bear, just right. But no, congrats. Again, I'm speeding through because we are thundering and storming outside. This is going to be 3rd place. This is the last Imperial list, I believe, unless I missed one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think this is the last one. This is Genos 160s 160. Geos 160s Imperial list. We're a return to the starter deck dragon mode, but no hidden potential to back it up is very interesting. Like, the biggest thing about this dragon mode is, to me, the hidden potential. And we actually decided to play Dino Beamon, which, again, this card is good. What I do, I got bullied one time for this, but this Dino Beamon is actually blue on top, green on bottom. I know that the green, like, you look here, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but on the left side of the card is the green, right? And on the right is the blue. So most people are like, okay, green on top. No, you have to look at the black box text here. It's blue, then green. So in case I get, like, I've gotten bullied for it before. I was like, hey, well, actually, like, to be fair, I actually somebody. And then they were like, are you dumb? And then I'm like, no, I was just trying to be funny, man. And Oh. Anyway, Dino B's a good card. Being able to attack, and then even if you don't keep turn, being able to have that plus 3k and then attack something anyway, and then threaten ace plays and things. I like Dino B. I don't think it's a bad include, especially if it's just a 1F. Playing Lydramon makes sense because we're still playing more Wormmons. Just valuing the suspension, I imagine, because we do have access to piercing most of the time. At least ideally, the ideal stack has piercing. So well, I guess if you're playing this Lydramon, I don't know. I don't know why you would play Lydramon over. Maybe you just swing over a rookie if it's annoying, like a memory blocker Madoki Betamon. I guess that's probably the biggest reason why you'd run this over Togemogumon if you're running more Wormmons. It's a whole train of thought. And then yeah, no. Again, 3 Progenitor, 2 Paladin mode. That's just, again, that's where I feel comfortable with the list. I think it should be 2 Paladin, but it really doesn't matter, it's preference. But yeah, sorry, that was, again, Gino's 3rd place list. Now we get to talk about 2nd place, Nostalgia's list. Fenra Lugon. Again, only 1 Fenra Lugon per tournament is blessed with the heavenly gates of topping a top 16 tournament. And you got all the way to 2nd place, which is kind of nutty. This might be one of the highest placing Fenra Lugomons. I can't, like, second, I don't think a Fenra Lugomon's won anything, but they've gotten close, and I think you're the closest. One of the closest. I think there might be another 2nd place list, but I can't think of it right now. But yeah, no, a lot of the same. Fenra Lugomon's pretty solved list. I feel like I don't think that's like a hot take or a contentious take. I do think like there are minor choices here, like 2 Hell Lugomon. You actually found room for Hell Lugomon and Skull Beluchimon. So like only 2 Tyrannos. Kind of feels low, but it doesn't matter. Like, these are all nitpicks just to be able to talk about your list a little bit more than just the average. Oh, it's a Fenra Lugomon, and then swipe left. Subtracting a Kazuchi over a Fenrir level 6 feels odd to me most of the time, just because like this is the harder one to find. But I get it. Once you do find the one, the 2nd and the 3rd are really annoying, and just kind of are bricky. So if you're one of those games where you draw all 4 for some reason, then you're suffering. So I get it. With the 3 analog youths, ideally you get there anyway, and then 9 castles. The only issue I have is, I guess I really don't have an issue. It's just the Hell Lugomon, like because we're so low on the level 4 count compared to the go wide strategy back when Hell Lugomon was a mainstay card in the deck. You find yourself in situations where you don't actually have 3 cards to discard with this thing without completely crippling your hand. So it's hard for you to actually delete level 6s with this. However, you do get to draw 2. You do get to pick up a Lugomon, so you can almost draw 3. So it's still, like, obviously it's still a good card. It's just, you know, things to keep note of and things that come to my mind when I'm just yapping for way too long during a hurricane. 6 AGs makes sense to me. Beyond that, congrats being the only Fenra Lugomon to top. And then 1st place, Accelerate Alpha. Ben 10 fan. I don't even know if you're a Ben 10 fan, but we're just gonna assume you are because Accelerate was a cool alien in that show. But yeah, Mirage. I think we're back to back. Like, there's not a lot to say about back to back. Like, you know, not a lot to say about 2 decks. We're on 3 Zudo. The level 5 area is starting to become the most contentious part of Mirage. The rookies have always kind of been in flux, depending on if we want to run a Floodgate, Gomamon, Biomon, or what's it, the other fish. I think it was still a Madoki Betamon, but not the Floodgate or whatever. And then our level 4s are pretty, like, it's pretty much resolved that these are the level 4s you play, and then you drop one for a hybrid if you want the hybrid, which I feel like not playing a hybrid is a mistake, but you got 1st place, so I'm gonna shut up. No Hammer Spark, but we are playing Ice Wall, Mental Training, Blue Memory Boost, good stuff. Yeah, it's Mirage, man. Oh, no, again, sorry, talking about level 5s, what's that fish that just came out, the Hakutuamon or something? The blue level 5 fish was getting really popular, and you chose not to play it in favor of just not being able to be redirected at all, which, Touche, good card. A lot of blocker, a lot of other control. I would love to know how many you actually played against, but also especially since we saw that a Black War Greymon did really well, this is not unblockable. This is your target cannot be switched. It's just the power crept version of unblockable. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And then, you know, playing 4 of, not playing a secondary level 6 feels bricky, but we do have so many trainings and boosts, man. Oh my, we just maxed out. We maxed out one of the only pure blue decks in the format. First place, Mirage, congrats. And I'm gonna sign off. I gotta deal with some rain, some gutter stuff, and that's it, man. Play TCG. Hopefully I don't drown, so I can you know, bring you guys some more news this weekend. There's some good events coming this weekend, so look out for that if I'm able to report on it. And make sure to subscribe. Eggman events, always send us your stuff. I love getting this stuff. I love talking about this stuff. And yeah, I'm just gonna sign off, man. We're clicking the button. Bye bye.